So I don't know why you would bring this type of person into your child's life. This 15-year-old, is it a girl or a boy?
It's a boy.
All right. I don't know why you would bring this person into a 15-year-old's life. When you have children, guess what? Children have to come first because they can't fend for themselves.
I understand.
So where's the 15-year-old now?
I'm not sure if he's still in juvenile for fighting, for being young or not.
So you're saying the 15-year-old, your 15-year-old beat you up?
Yes.
All right, there's a whole host of issues going on here. Mr. Mauer, are you aware that she's saying her 15-year-old beat her up?
Judge, any conversation would be attorney-client privilege.
Yeah.
I cannot reveal any such conversation if in fact it took place.
Community supervision in 2022 CR 9151W for the offense of burglary of a building with intent to commit theft on September 23rd, 2022 for a term of 2 years. Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 2, on or about the 19th day of October 2022 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant, Jamie Lozano, did then and there illegally use a controlled substance, namely methamphetamine, in violation of condition number 2.
All right, and I'm so sorry. Could you repeat that so that probation can hear?
Oh, sure. Violated condition number 2.
Everyone, please whisper. Thank you.
Violated condition number 2, on or about the 19th day of October 2022 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant, Jamie Lozano, did then and there illegally use a controlled substance, namely methamphetamine, in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Your Honor, we'll waive your remaining violated conditions.
Any objections to the waivers?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $500 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2? Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there an agreement?
No, there's not, Your Honor.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
The state is in agreement with probation recommendation, alternate amending, continuing the individual on a probation and as having to attend SATF with aftercare. In lieu of that, if the court does not agree with that, revocation at that point.
All right, defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, I spoke with Ms. Lozano about the state's recommendation. Her request is that she be allowed to continue on probation and do outpatient treatment. She says she's clean now and she is trying to be able to take care of her 15-year-old child, and I'll let her speak on her behalf if it's okay with you, Judge.
All right, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jamie Lozano.
All right, so your counsel is telling me that you want to be in outpatient treatment because you want to take care of your child?
Yeah, I'll do outpatient. I've been sober.
Well, no. I want you to listen to my question. Your attorney says that you want to be out so you can take care of your child.
Yes.
Here's my problem with that statement. Everyone here knows, including your attorney knows, I always ask people if they have children.
Yes.
And obviously you told me you did not. You know how I know you told me you didn't have any children? Because I didn't request parenting classes. And it's not listed on this sheet anywhere where I requested parenting. Now, if another judge would have sentenced you, then I could understand. So when your attorney says you're sober, what's your drug of choice?
I used meth with my ex.
Meth and what else?
That was it.
So when's the last time you used before being taken into custody?
Whenever I was with him back in December 24th, whenever I left him. And he hit me. He hit me on December 24th and he had me locked in a hotel room. When he got out of prison.
All right, so he was in prison?
Yes, he was.
So why did you get back with him?
He didn't. He came and got me whenever he got out because I had changed my number and left him.
All right. So I will tell you right now, some of what you're telling me, I do not believe. This is what I know. I know that people, when they are in the throes of their addiction, they tell great stories. And those stories are so believable. Like I know people who are using drugs, they could tell the story that the moon is made of blue cheese and they would have you believe in it. They will say, well, I just ate some yesterday because it fell down. And you're like, oh my gosh, is the moon really made of blue cheese? Here are your choices. You can either do inpatient treatment or you can go to SATA. I'm sorry, you can go to SATA or either you can do 2 years in the state jail facility because you have a drug problem and you would not be a good parent to a child at this point in your life because you're not clean and sober.
I've been sober. I was sober before that too.
Yeah. I'm giving you choices. Here's your first choice. You can go into inpatient treatment, get help for your drug problem, or you can go to prison for 2 years. And that's the state jail facility. Either way, whether you go to SATA to try to better yourself and become a clean and sober and a good parent, or either you go to the state jail facility for 2 years, time is going to pass. And this person that you're with, are they the father of the 15-year-old?
No, he's back in prison already. He got.
No, you're not listening to my question. Is he the father of the 15-year-old?
No, he's not.
Did you meet him before or after you had the 15-year-old?
I met him afterwards.
All right. So I don't know why you would bring this type of person into your child's life. This 15-year-old, is it a girl or a boy?
It's a boy.
All right. I don't know why you would bring this person into a 15-year-old's life. When you have children, guess what? Children have to come first because they can't fend for themselves.
I understand.
So where's the 15-year-old now?
I'm not sure if he's still in juvenile for fighting, for being young or not.
So you're saying the 15-year-old, your 15-year-old beat you up?
Yes.
All right, there's a whole host of issues going on here. Mr. Maurer, you're aware that she's saying her 15-year-old beat her up?
Judge, any conversation would be attorney-client privilege.
Yeah.
I cannot reveal any such conversation if in fact it took place.
All right, thank you, Mr. Maurer. So here is my question for you. So is this juvenile, your child, in juvenile because they beat you up? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. He has his dad beat me up for 8 years. And
He has what?
his dad beat me up for 8 years and I got really bad PTSD. And then I left him for 9 years. And he's had a hard life. That's my son because his dad's not in his life. He's angry. And I homeschooled him and he's attacked my parents twice and he was on probation and they think that he smoked
How far did you go in school?
to college.
How much college?
A year and a half.
I don't understand people who think they can homeschool people.
I had my boyfriend has 2 master's degrees in teaching.
I'm sorry, what?
My ex-boyfriend before that has 2 master's degrees in teaching, and my son was very traumatized from his dad watching me get beat up and hit me with the car and different things like that. That homeschooling became something whenever I had left that really 9 years of abuse that we did homeschooling for a while. Then my son was going to public school and he got his phone stolen, and that's what caused a lot of the anger issues that he's had for 2 years. And he has attacked my mom, my dad, and me. And now he's he asked for help this last time when he beat me up that day.
Your story is all over the place.
I have to live it, ma'am.
Well, I mean, no, it's as though we're on Calabria and you're taking me on,
I'm just
Highway 120 and stuff.
Judge, would you consider a psych eval?
Yes, I will.
I that may be warranted under the circumstances. This,
PTSD really bad.
I just have some concerns based.
The conversation that we're
Yes.
having.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So this is what we'll do. We will do a evaluation. Ms. Ferguson, can you refer her for a psychological? I'm sorry, what?
I don't take meds. I've been diagnosed and everything.
What have you been diagnosed with?
With severe PTSD and anxiety, my disability.
On disability for mental health issues?
Yeah, that's for my anxiety and stuff. I was in a abusive relationship for 9 years with his dad. And then I've been away from him for 9 years. This December will be 9 years.
All right. Is there anything else?
No
I
objection,
just
not
want-
at this time.
All right, so this is what we're going to do. We will have her evaluated for competency, Ms. Ferguson, and probation. I know if she is incompetent, it wouldn't do, probably wouldn't do well to do the MIC, but could you see about MIC evaluation anyway?
My office, the facility, right?
Yes,
Do we do a MIOP evaluation?
Yes.
That may be more
I recommend
appropriate,
it.
or the ISF dual diagnosis.
all right, could we do the MIC MIOF evaluation for her? All right, and what we'll do is, even though she's pled true to violation to number 2, when we come back for another hearing, if she still wishes to plead true to number 2, she can still plead true to number 2. But for now, counsel, are you asking that her plea of true be withdrawn?
At this time, yes. Chair.
Any objections? All right, is there anything else that you need from the court?
I just want to go on for like home to hear my son. And I don't have a bond or nothing.
All right, so what's going to end up happening is you're going to be evaluated. It's probably not in your best interest. If what you're telling me is true about your son, then you're in no condition to parent him, and he is probably in no condition to be parented. And if he is in a juvenile facility, that means that Child Protective Services is involved because he doesn't have a parent to pick him up. So,
I live with my parents.
okay, well, they're not picking him up, obviously, if he's still in juvenile, and maybe they're not releasing him. I have no idea what his charges are. I'm sure your counsel doesn't have any idea what his charges are, and your counsel doesn't represent him. But what I'm telling you, in your best interest, I'm going to allow that the plea of true to number 2 be withdrawn without objection from the state and with a request from the defense. You're going to be evaluated by a doctor. When the doctor comes to see you, your attorney will let you know what type of questions they will be asking. But I am going to put in a MIC MILF evaluation as well,
Thank you.
so the court can have options.
A probation officer told me that I had to not show up so that I could get a new probation officer.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, what date should we come back?
June 22nd.
All right, so we'll be back on June 22nd. If there is results before then we'll let your attorney know and you'll come back before then.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Actually went into many changes. My brother just recently passed away and I gotta be there for my mom.
Why do you just know that you need to be there for your
My-
mom now that,
Because,
excuse me,
I'm sorry,
why are you just realizing you need to be there for your mom when you were in the free world and you were not doing anything to be there for your mom?
because I'm having a child now and I did my first. I didn't really know what she was going through, what she did. She did a lot for me and I didn't really pay attention.
So I'm going to give you a choice. You can either go to the state jail facility for a year, or you can go into inpatient treatment. And that's what's being recommended for you. So which do you prefer? Do you want to do the state jail facility time of 1 year, or do you want to have probation and go into inpatient treatment?
I take the inpatient treatment, man.
Okay. All right, this is what the court will do. The court will sentence you to 1 year in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 2 years. There's a $500 fine that will be probated. 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to want parenting classes with Triple P. Once he completes parenting classes, then the community service hours will be deemed to be satisfied. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. The UA hotline upon release. I'm going to want SATIF referral. Well, he's already approved for SATIF, so we're going to do SATIF. And we can do a referral to felony drug court as well. He's to remain in custody until transfer to SATF or felony drug court. Upon release, I'm going to want field visits one time per month, and probation if he's accepted into felony drug court, or of course, whatever felony drug court conditions have, then that's what they'll have. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Probation, is there anything that he needs? Anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
Oh, man.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. You have a child that's coming into this world. You have elderly parents. You're going to have to start making better decisions. If you are not going to be a parent that this child can be proud of or look up to and want to imitate, then do not bother being in that child's life. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Actually, with the money that we're gonna be getting from my brother's accident debt, I just actually used my cut.
Santos Rodriguez stood before the judge facing a year in state jail after being caught with stolen checks. But the twist? He didn't cash them. Video and fingerprints proved another man did. Homeless, struggling with addiction, and now expecting his first child, Santos begged for a second chance. The judge didn't go easy, but didn't give up on him either. Instead of jail, she chose probation with strict inpatient treatment, drug court, parenting classes, and a warning. If you're not going to be a parent your child can be proud of, don't be in that child's life. Question, second chance, or last chance. Like, share, and subscribe.
Is horrendous. I think Ms. Gonzalez is lucky to be standing here in front of you today with only this charge, with only aggravated assault, because what she did that day on July 19th, 2022 to Beth Turner was, I believe that her intent was to kill her. She was going to, she found an easy witness, an older witness, and I think she knew that this was a person who could not defend herself and who could not attack back, and she preyed on her. She made that decision to go in there and stab her numerous times. And then she had the gall to tell the police after she was stabbed by Dava, when Dava was protecting her aunt, her grandma, that the bitch stabbed me. I believe those were some of the words that she used. And I understand that Ms. Gonzalez has mental health problems, but I think what the court has to consider is the severe threat that she poses to not only this community, but herself. And I think someone like this, where she needs to spend some time is the prison. And she's been treated and she's had treatment in the past, and she continues to exhibit this type of behavior. And I think it speaks for itself when we look at the fact that she was released from Nick's hospital on January 25th, 2019. And but a few days later, she commits an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, separate from the case that we're here for today. I think she is violent, and she has shown this court that with the fact that these are the types of offenses she continues to commit.
All right, and counsel, what do you say to the fact that the state presented a witness, a mental health expert, that she was released and she was not, and she should not have been released from the mental health hospital. It was a situation, which I've seen before, where people have mental health issues. They get treatment and they just stabilize them and then release them without medication, without proper support, and just send them back into the world because not my problem. I want to move on to the next person and we're done. Woo! Thank you. We got her out of here. So what do you respond to the defense's witness? Because that's what the defense witness said. The defense witness said that she never should have been released from the hospital. And it appears that she was released from the hospital and then immediately went out and committed this act.
My response to that, Judge, is that now we have innocent victims here in the courtroom that are victims of her behavior.
But let me ask you this, how is this any different if somebody is at a hospital for, let's say, cancer or some type of physical illness, and they just get them stabilized and say, good luck to you because your problem is too complicated. We're going to stabilize you and then we're going to send you out into the world. Let's say somebody goes to a hospital and they are bleeding or they need a heart transplant. And they say, you know what? Your case is a little bit too complicated. I know you need this heart transplant immediately, or I know you need these stitches immediately, but you know what? We're going to give you a Band-Aid because great. We've stopped the bleeding. We know you're going to end up needing stitches, but we're not going to do that. We're going to send you back out into the world. Good luck to you. And they end up bleeding because they didn't get the stitches. The problem is people treat mental health differently from what they treat people who have cancer, who need a heart transplant. Basically, the evidence that I've heard from the defense's witness is she never should have been released from the hospital with her mental health issues. There's no doubt in my mind that she was going through an episode when this offense was committed. The only issue for the court to consider is whether or not she should be going to prison or whether or not she should be going to probation. So if you all want to address issues for closing arguments, it would seem where the address should be coming in from both parties would be, was she released from the hospital? Should she have been released from the hospital? Did they know releasing her from the hospital, she was going to have an episode? Did they know they were sending somebody out in this world with schizophrenia, with no medication to go forth on their own? And as I told both parties, I'm aware of mental health conditions. I'm aware of what happens with people who have schizophrenia and they not receive treatment. I'm aware of what people who don't receive treatment for bipolar. And I'm aware of the system where people are tired, people don't want to deal with anybody who is causing problems at the state hospital, wherever they be. And their thing is, let's med them up, let's get them stabilized so we can push them on. I read all the documents. I read all the defense's documents. I read the PSI report. I read the stipulations. And the documents that's been provided to the court by the defense is they wanted to get rid of her because her problem was too complicated. And then I read the the documents that were admitted without objections, where when she first came in to see them, she was accusing people of raping her, accusing people of beating her up, accusing people of stabbing her father, accusing people of out to get her, accusing the staff of rape. And they didn't quit on her. They just said, well, she's accusing staff person of rape. It's not true. What we're going to do is we're going to end up having more people in the room. So those are the issues that need to be addressed for the court to make a decision on whether or not I'm sending her to prison or sending her to some sort of inpatient treatment facility. So that's what I would like to hear in closing, because honestly, I already know. I know that she did a terrible thing to the complainant in this case. I know that this complainant was laying bleeding on the floor in the restroom. I know that she was here in San Antonio trying to enjoy her vacation, that she was on a bus. So if both parties can focus on why I should send her to prison or why I should give her probation, I already have read and I know that the complainant in this case could have died. I know that the complainant's relative came in and saved her life. I think that if the complainant's relative hadn't come in at that point in time, she would probably be dead. I know from witnesses' statements that the complainant's life is never going to be the same again. I know that she's not going to be able to do everything that she used to do. So if everybody would like to focus on that, that would help the court make a decision. And I have an open mind both ways. So I will hear argument.
I guess, Judge, it comes down to if she receives probation and she does some sort of outpatient treatment, she eventually will be back in the community. And I think it once again raises the danger level to the community.
So
because
you're
she-
saying it would be fine for her to be on probation if she's in inpatient treatment for the entire length of probation?
No, I'm saying if she's on probation, she will be out.
All right, so let's say she goes to prison. At some point in time, she's going to get out of prison because the state is not asking for a life sentence. She's not looking at a life sentence for this offense. So when she goes to prison, if I send her to prison and she gets out, then where are we?
Well, I mean, but Judge, I think the arguments to be made if she gets probation as well. Probation isn't something that lasts forever either. So either she's going to be on probation and be putting the community at risk because she's not in prison, or she's going to be in prison.
Well,
and
if
she can
she's on
receive
probation,
mental treatment while she's in prison.
if she's on probation and she's in a facility, because she can be on probation for 10 years. And if she's in a facility for 10 years receiving treatment, how's that any different than her going into prison? And what the state has offered her for a prison sentence, she will be eligible for parole in half the time. And if she's stabilized, she's probably going to be released in half the time. These are questions the court has.
What it comes down to for the state judge is just the level of violence that is this case. I think it's a person who deserves to go to prison and work on her mental health there. There's treatment that she can receive while she's in prison. It's not like we are sending her to prison and she won't receive any type of treatment while she's there. I think, but that gets her out of the community and off the street and prevents her from committing yet another aggravated assault. And I noticed in some of the records from UHS, it says the officer states that she's getting into arguments with other inmates for actions seeming manipulative and attributed to behavior. I think even while even if she were to be in some sort of inpatient treatment, she's putting others at that treatment facility in danger from her violent or aggressive behavior. And so a person like that who is even showing signs of aggression while being held in a hospital or inpatient type facility, the safest place for everyone is for her to be in prison.
So your answer then is let her cause trauma, and be violent at the prison with other inmates?
I believe prison and her receiving treatment in prison is more appropriate than her being on probation.
I proceed.
Yes.
Judge, I know you're aware of this, but I just want to emphasize universal underfunding. No consistent individualized care. Lack of beds available. Revolving door hospitalizations. Too few intermediate care programs. Judge, that's just a snapshot of some of the inadequacies of our mental health system. As my witness pointed out, we've come a long way, Judge. But my client is an example of what happens when we fail, Judge, and our mental health system failed her. I am in no way trying to minimize the pain that family went through. My heart goes out to them, Judge. But the reality of my client's life is one day she woke up and she heard voices. I know this court has gone over the PSI, Judge. She graduated from high school. She was in college for some time, Judge. She wanted to be a medical assistant. My client had dreams. And I do want to address, the state asked Ms. Morales if my client is a dangerous person. And that just goes to the stigma of mental health, Judge. My client is not a dangerous person. She is sick. She is symptomatic, but she can get better. She's never received a chance to get better, Judge. I'm not asking for her to go into the community. I'm not asking for you to put her on probation, release her tomorrow, put her on outpatient and send her on her way. We saw what happened, Judge. We saw what happened since back in 2015 when these hospitals did that. And not, these are medical professionals notating on the date of discharge that she's still psychotic, that they're still having to monitor her every 15 minutes. And then not only that, method of specialty, they explored the avenue of sending her to SASH. Why they didn't do it is absolutely beyond me, because maybe we wouldn't be here. If my client was committed back then in a hospital, inpatient, receiving the care that she needs, Judge, that would have given her insight, because lack of insight, that's a symptom of schizophrenia. Schizophrenia, as you know, affects our brain and how we react. And with medication, it can be managed, Judge. You ask the state what's going to happen when she gets released. Judge, she's going to be worse. She's going to be worse, and it's going to lead right back here. If she's inpatient long enough, Judge, my client has the chance to lead a normal life. I wish that things were different, that maybe our office came in contact with her sooner, but Judge, we didn't, and we're here today. And my client is begging you for help.
All right. So with regards to this case, was there a request for a sanity evaluation? Was the sanity evaluation completed?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what was the result of the sanity evaluation?
She was deemed sane, Judge.
Okay. All right. Ms. Gonzalez, I do feel as though Bear County and society should apologize to you. And let me just tell you why. Because it's clear from the court that you should have been at a mental hospital, but somebody dropped the ball. Somebody just wanted to do triage and send you out into the world, knowing that you should not have been sent out in the world, that you probably should have still been at the mental hospital receiving treatment. And they should apologize to the complainant in this case as well, because who knows, maybe that would not have happened to her if you were where you were supposed to be. But at the same point, I'm looking at the photos. Have you seen the photos of the injuries? Counsel, do you want to show the photos to your client? And I wanted you to see those because I wanted you to know what, and I'm sorry, counsel, this is for you as well. I wanted you to see those because I wanted you to know everything that I'm looking at and everything that I'm considering. And I take all these cases very seriously. And people don't realize sometimes how hard my job is because everybody wants something. I know what the state wants. I know what your attorney wants. I know what the complainants want. And then I have to make a decision. And part of my decision making is protecting the community. I look at your criminal history, consider any other evidence that's presented to me to make a decision, right? Now, this case would be so easy if you were found insane at the time of the offense, because if you're found insane at the time of an offense, then that basically means you don't know right from wrong. And that means, and your attorney will tell you, that means that you're not responsible because basically you don't know right from wrong. You understand? But in this case, it's not a situation of you not knowing right from wrong. All right. And I do understand mental health issues. And as a defense attorney, I had so many clients who had mental health issues, and I had so many clients who ended up being under a doctor's care for the length of the offense that they were on. I had some clients who were found insane, and they were charged with murder, but they were found insane, which would mean, because the range of punishment for murder is up to life in prison, they would be under care for life. But I don't have that situation here. So I don't have somebody saying that you were insane at the time of the offense. And the reason why I'm taking my time, and I try to do this with everyone who's before me, so that they will know that I listened and I heard their witnesses and I heard what was given to me. Because I never want anyone to appear before me and they assume that I'm not listening to them. Because sometimes you may see me doing 3 things at one time and people like, oh, judge is not listening. But I do. I'm able to multitask. And so I have listened to everything. And it is a shame that you were not given the help that you needed at the time that you needed. And it was a shame that they released you. But with that being said, I don't feel comfortable granting your application for deferred adjudication. So I am going to find you guilty. According to the plea bargain agreement, it is a cap of 13 years. Does anyone wish to speak to the cap?
I do, Judge.
All right, state.
Judge, the state is fully aware of the plea bargain agreement. We made that agreement. We feel that the cap and you reaching the cap is appropriate, or that's not the offer that we would have made based on everything, based on the case itself, based on all the facts. That was the plea bargain agreement that we made and defense agreed to. And so for that, we're going to ask the court to use its judgment, but we are asking the court to considering everything to meet the cap.
And Judge, may I proceed, Judge?
Yes.
Judge, I'm asking you to take into consideration all of the documents that I provided to the court today, Judge. As you have recognized, my client has been sick for a very long time. And because of that and those mitigating circumstances, Judge, I'm asking for the lower end of the punishment range, Judge.
All right. Ms. Gonzalez, what do you think you deserve? What do you think would be an appropriate sentence for you?
Some medical treatment in a hospital outpatient aid.
All right, so that ship has sailed. So you're going to be going to prison. So the state is asking for 13 years.
I want it to be getting some kind of treatment in here. If they have
Well,
treatment in here, I could take it in here.
Well, here's the thing. At the prison, they do have a mental health treatment facility there. And I'm going to put on the docket sheet that you receive and that you receive the mental health that they provide.
You know what, then maybe I should read my letter so you understand, because I don't think I deserve to go to treatment. Perhaps you need to listen to my letter. I don't think I deserve to go to treatment. Because this is what I have to say.
All right, well, just a second. This is what the court is going to do. The court is finding you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 12 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's restitution, if any, to Ruth Turner. There's to be no contact with Ruth Turner, Frank Turner, Dava Turner. I'm going to recommend that she be placed at the Texas Mental Health Unit at the prison. There's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon.
Well, what I have to say is why I deserve mental health treatment here if they have it,
Okay.
instead of going to prison. Since 2015, I was hearing voices and I've heard screams and I had saw flames, little images of flames, in my visions around the room in my house. And I told my parents about it and I cried because of these visions of people coming in my house. I told my mom about it and she took me to the hospital to get medical treatment. I went to several hospitals and was taking medicine for schizophrenia, seeing flames and hearing voices. But I don't believe I was myself. I'm not a murderer. According to what the pictures I saw, The stab wound was on the right side. She doesn't have stab wounds on the right side of her neck. And I saw it. I stabbed her right here. She doesn't have that. And I.
All right,
don't
so
believe that
Miss-
was myself, I was.
Ms. Gonzalez? All right, let me explain something to you, okay? All right, so I understand what's going on in your life. And I understand that the state hospital and those people in the medical field for mental health dropped the ball. They didn't do right by you. I'm giving you 12 years in prison as opposed to the 13. What I'm telling you is at the prison, I'm going to request that you be placed in the mental health unit. And Defense, I know you're aware that there's more than one mental health unit, so they'll evaluate her and see which mental health unit is appropriate for her stay. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. We can go off the record.
In today's courtroom, the judge faced a heartbreaking case where violence and mental illness collided. The defendant, recently released from a mental hospital without proper treatment, committed a brutal stabbing that nearly cost a woman her life. The judge acknowledged the system's failure, but reminded everyone that public safety comes first. After weighing the evidence, the injuries, and expert testimony, the court sentenced her to 12 years in prison with mental health treatment recommended. Now the question is, was prison the right choice, or should long-term psychiatric care have come first? Tell us your thoughts, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real courtroom stories.